Thanks so much for joining us. We do have a lot to talk about, but first, let's get to Larry Sprinkle with a check of the forecast.
Good morning. Let's talk about today. It's going to be just perfect weather across the area as we take a look at that hour-by-hour forecast. By lunchtime, if you're out and about, it's going to be in the mid-70s, low 80s right in the middle of the afternoon. Sunshine, blue skies, and really more of the same tomorrow. 2 days in the low 80s. Friday will be a great day if you can take the day off. It's the best day as we head towards the weekend, mid-70s over the weekend. Rain on the way. We can feel some of the effects from Hurricane Delta. The next week, mild weather does continue. That's your forecast this morning, Carolyn.
Larry, thanks. Turning to some of today's top stories in your morning rush. This morning, Mecklenburg County health officials trying to find ways to make sure bars are enforcing the mask mandate. Last night, county health officials showed this chart highlighting the businesses and percentage of businesses following safety guidelines. County leaders say just 67% of bars are complying with the mask mandate. Now to Stanley County, where some students will be spending the next 2 weeks at home after cases of COVID-19. North Stanley High School going fully remote until the 19th. In a message to parents, the school principal says the cases were among staff members. Even though they were not in close contact with students, parents are being asked to keep an eye on their kids for any symptoms. New details in the scandal surrounding North Carolina Senate candidate Cal Cunningham. Text messages from his alleged mistress were obtained by the Associated Press. They claim that the affair was recent and that she and Cunningham actually met in person and they were intimate. Cunningham would not comment on the latest developments, but says that he will stay in the race. Live pictures right now over Washington, D.C. Well, it's live for us right here. It won't be for you. We're seeing a major back and forth from the president over a relief bill. He now says that he would sign a bill immediately if it only includes, he wants it to only have, the only thing in it would be $1,200 stimulus checks. This comes after he sent out a series of tweets yesterday, stopping all relief bill negotiations until after the election. Tonight, the candidates for vice president will take the debate stage. Current VP Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris squaring off in Salt Lake City. It is the first and only vice presidential debate of the election. Rachel, the candidates are ready in a heated disagreement before it even starts.
They haven't stepped foot on the debate stage yet, Carolyn, but yes, as you said, they're disagreeing over a plexiglass barrier, having that or not having that divide them during this debate that's scheduled for tonight. So an aide for Vice President Mike Pence is saying that they've reached out to the debate commission to ask if having this barrier is necessary or not. Provided that they keep the barrier like planned, here's what it will look like. In addition to that, they will also be 12 feet apart from each other, which is nearly double what President Trump and Joe Biden were in their first debate. The big concern from the Harris campaign is that the vice president has been exposed to the COVID-19 virus. Although he's tested negative a few times, Vice President's press secretary said that he tested negative yesterday afternoon with a PCR test, and his doctor says the exposure doesn't come under the CDC close contact guidelines. Says Harris's safety measures are, quote, excessive. Anyone who removes their mask, even at their seat, will be removed from the venue. The only one exempt from this are the candidates and moderator. But both candidates are in Salt Lake City. They're ready to debate. You see that on their social media pages and the pictures there. So let us know if you're planning on watching tonight. Use our hashtag WakeUpCLT. Drop a comment right here what you're looking forward to hopefully hearing from these candidates and if you're planning to watch.
Rachel, thanks so much. All right, time to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. Right now, COVID-19, as you know, spreading through the White House. The president, as well as more than a dozen people who work with him, have tested positive. Officials say this could have all been avoided.
As the White House continues to battle COVID-19, how and when it tested visitors is coming under scrutiny. Let's connect the dots. Early in this pandemic, the White House announced it was using rapid coronavirus tests to make sure people who came in contact with the president were not infected. Experts point to several problems with that strategy, but the big one is that relying on just testing is not enough. According to infectious disease experts, you might get a negative test result even if you do have COVID-19. That's because the virus is still building up in your body. That's why they recommend not just testing, but also masks and social distancing. Another problem is the tests the White House used. The Abbott rapid tests are intended for people with coronavirus symptoms. Data only shows how well those tests work on symptomatic patients. it's less clear how well they do on people not showing any symptoms. The regular testing may have also provided a false sense of security, leading staffers and those close to the president to take more risks. And that's connecting the dots.
Now to some stories to help keep you and your family safe and sound. We're all looking for ways to reduce our stress level, but now experts say just take up knitting. A new study found that it is, in fact, the most relaxing hobby there is. Experts say knitting for just a few minutes actually lowers your heart rate. They also recommend fishing, blogging, and calligraphy to help you unwind. And apparently, ladies are making more of an effort to keep themselves COVID-free. That's because there's a new study that found out that more women than men are wearing their face masks. Researchers say it's because women are just more likely to embrace behaviors that are backed by experts. Men, they say, are more likely to see masks as a sign of weakness. But here's what I say. Wearing a mask shows you care about other people. Caring about other people equals kindness, and kindness equals strength. So think about that. Larry is in the corner saying yes. Make sure you watch us every morning starting at 4:30 on Wake Up Charlotte.